you come here, it's so refreshing to the soul to hear the sound of water. I mean, I'm sure in Minnesota, this isn't a big deal probably. But to us, this is a big deal. This is luxuriant green, trees that are up high above our heads, and we can go in the undergrowth. And it's like a microcosm. It's like it has its own habitat of animals. There are animals that this is their most northerly point because it's warm and there's a lot of water. And so the animals and trees all meet in this ecosystem here. They're like trees and animals from 4 different kinds of climate meet in this place. That's why it's so rich. And there's all kinds of creepers and trees and the abundance of this water, which is the purest water we have in Israel. This is our most rich spring. The water that falls on the Hermon mountain is something like 1,600 millimeters a year. It's the heaviest rainfall. And it percolates down through the Hermon mountain. It's like a great big sponge, a limestone sponge. And it percolates down and it comes out in springs at the base of the mountain. And somebody asked me a really good question, why do the rocks look old? And I didn't at first understand, who was it, Michelle, was it you? Somebody asked me. No, it was you, yeah. And I thought, well, all rocks are old. And then I knew what she meant. Why do they look like worn away with holes pitted in them? And that's called karst, K-A-R-S-T. It's a chemical process. In limestone, the carbon dioxide forms an acid with plant matter, and it eats away at the rock. And it causes caverns and caves, and the rock looks pitted. And where that karstic process has happened and formed a big space, then you get a spring, a karstic spring. It just eats away at the rock. And that's what happened at Dan. There's a karstic spring, a spring that's formed where the rock has been eaten away, and it gushes out. And this is the richest spring in Israel. This is 1/5 of our water comes from Dan. 1/3 of our clean water comes from Dan. So it's a very rich spring, and its the head of the spring where we're going begins in Israel. It still begins in Israel, but the border up until 67 was right on the spring and was in dispute. So this is a very special area for us, very rich and lush and green, and we're going to follow the water till we get to the gate.
I know.
Quickly, come on.
Now you double behind